Hello everyone. So in this video, I'm going to first show you a basic demo of the application that I have created using the useState hook. Okay. Then I will show you its code base and tell you that how it is becoming complex and how we can remove this complexity by using the useReducer hook. So let's look at the example. You can see that it is a bare minimum register application, and clicking on the register user, it is showing a loader that it is loading. After a few seconds, it is giving me the error. It is giving me the error because I haven't added anything and there is some error from the backend. In reality, I am not using any real API hit. I am just using the timer just for the sake of showing you the demo. Okay, now let's add some data. Again, I haven't added any validation. Okay, so whenever I have added any data, clicking on register user is showing me the loader. Okay, and then you can see that that error is removed and user is signed up successfully. So guys, this is the very basic bare minimum application that we have created using the useState hook. And now let me share the different states that we have used. So let me show you the code base to tell you that how I have tried to accomplish this task. So let me first show you the UI. Let me refresh this page also. So in the UI, you can see that I have used Bootstrap for building the UI, and here I have error. If there is error, it should show something went wrong. If user is signed up, then it should show user signed up successfully. Acco- Similarly, if there is some loading is happening, then it should show loading. Apart from that, I have created a label and input. You can see that it is just a normal label and on change handler, right? And I'm using state. And then same is for name. There is a name label and then there is a input. There is a on change handler. At the end, there is a submit button which is handling the submission. So now let me show you what are the different states that I have used to build this application. Right now, obviously I need a state for name and email, right? And then whenever I'm making a hit, I should show a loader, right? And for that also, I have created a is loading state. Apart from that, once a user signed up successfully, right, then I need to show that user signed up successfully. I need to create a state called is signed up. Apart from that, let's say there is any error by making the API hit, right, or any kind of error. So I have created another hook called error hook. So you can see that in order to handle a very basic application, I am creating multiple states, right? So that is the one thing. Another is you need to have a on change handler. In the on change handler, you can see that it is just getting the value and then I am getting the email, then set email if it is name and then set name. We can have another logic for handling this in a single case, but for now let's do this. And if there is any kind of error, it will show set loading loader to false and show the error as true. Okay, this is for on change handler. And here comes the submit handler. This is where we are actually doing some kind of complex logic. You can see that whenever I'm clicking on submit button, it should show the loader first, right? There is a set is loading true. And then there is a try catch block because we are going to use await, async await. All right. So I'm just returning a promise with set timeout function. As I mentioned you that I'm not going to make any in the actual API hit. I'm just trying to fake the system that it is a API hit. Okay. And this is very basic example where I'm saying that if username is not this, email is not this, and name is not this, then you will say that user is has signed up successfully. Otherwise, it should show the reject that there is a error. And this API request will take around 2 seconds. So it is 2000 milliseconds. So it becomes 2 seconds. All right. So guys, if you are not aware of what are promises, I will create a separate video on that. But for now, you can assume that a promise is a thing where we have a asynchronous operation. And once that operation is done, I want to get the value back, right? So promise is a thing which will give me that value back, right? So once this promise is done, we need to handle multiple things. First of all, I need to set the loading as false. I need to remove the loader, right? And if there is any error, and I have to set error as false. So this is the value to handle my true condition, that is resolve condition. Similarly, I am setting this signed up as true so that I can show the message to the user that user signed up successfully. Similarly, I need to clear the form as well. So that's why I am clearing the form, right? And then there is a catch block. In the catch block will happen if I have a reject command. If the same username with same email and name already exists, then it will throw the error. And once there is an error, I again need to set the loading to false, and then I need to set signed up to false, and then I have to set error to true. All right. I hope that you have understood this complete logic that what I have tried to handle. So clicking on register, it is going to show set true, and then as there is nothing over there, it is going to call reject, and in reject it is calling the catch, and in catch it is saying set error to true and rest everything to false. So loader is removed now, and then set error is true. When set error is true, it is showing that something went wrong. Similarly, if I will add values, it will call the resolve. It will first show the loader. After 2 seconds, it will remove the loader. It will remove the error if there is any. It will set the signed up user to true and then clear the form, right? So now you can see that for handling this very basic scenario, I have made a very complex code base, right? I have to use different states, right? And then in order to handle the change handlers, I have to create a separate method. Similarly, for my submit handler, you can see that I am making changes with different states. I have to handle loading, I have to handle the success scenarios where I am setting multiple states. Similarly, if there is an error, I am handling multiple states. Apart from that, this is what I am doing. I think this is the most basic thing, but yeah, there are many things which I am doing at this moment. So now, in order from here, I can sense that I am adding complexity. For handling a state, I am making many things. I am calling multiple functions. I am defining multiple states. So it is a good way, or this is the right choice that I need to make, that let's use a use reducer hook where I can have a single state which is handling each and everything. And all my state handling logic will be separate. All right. So now let me show you this same example using the use reducer hook. So now let me first include the use reducer hook. Guys, I am just trying to replicate or change this same component using the use reducer hook. I would suggest create a new file with all the new things. I'm just doing it in the same component so that you can actually relate to the stuff, right? So let me also define const user info, because it is going to be a user information, right? And then dispatch, right? And then use reducer, and then there is going to be a handle sign up method, and then I need to provide the initial state. So right now I haven't done anything else. Let me also just define this reducer function. So it is like this, right? And it provides two parameters, state and action. All right. Now we need to provide the initial state, which is an object. You can see that in use state we have used all these states, right? So now I'm going to use all these states, name, email, right? And then is loading false, right? And then is signed up as false, and then error as false. So I have set the default values. Similar things are set over there, right? So now we can remove this. So let me comment it out, or let me comment it out. So now it will show, because in my whole component I have used this. So let me first actually uncomment it so that you don't see the errors. Okay. So in the UI, you can see that we have onChange handler, right? But now what onChange handler is doing is it is updating the state, right? There is a concept called controlled components, and we are telling the React that what is the current state of this input variable at this moment, right? So what we can do is we can take this logic out and pass it to my reducer function. So now let's do the same thing. So before that, what we have to do is I have to add switch case handler in my application, where I will be telling that okay, const value is equal to action dot value. Okay, I am assuming that in action it is going to provide me the value, and then there is going to be a switch statement, and then action dot type, and then case as email, right? And in return statement, what it will do is it will copy the state. It is the concept of immutability, and then update the email with the value. That's it. And then it is saying that you should have a default, and then in default you can say alert error. It is just for time being. I would never suggest you to call alert in your application. Okay, similarly, what we want is changing the name should change its state, right? And then I will just change the name. Okay guys, right now I have just added two states, two actions. Now let's use these actions in my actual application. So in order to actually use this, let me also destructure this user info. What we need to do is const email name is loading, error is signed up is equal to user info. Okay, this is the most basic thing I have done. I have just used destructuring to get all my access to this state object. Let me also remove this to make my code a bit simpler now, and let me also remove this onChange handler, because now all this onChange handling logic is being handled by my handle signup reducer. So let me remove this method also. All right, so it is saying that these are the errors, these are not defined, so we are going to now use these. All right, so here you can see that in onChange earlier there was onChange handler, but now we need to handle the onChange using my dispatcher. So I will directly create my method over here, and let me define E for event, and then I will call dispatch. Dispatch type as email, right? And then updated value is e dot target dot value. Guys, it is similar to what I have done in one of my other video called creating the sign up page. So you can refer to that also. Here I am doing nothing. Whenever there is a change on change, it will be calling the dispatch, and I am saying that you have to update the email with this new value. So this is what it is doing at this moment. All right. Similarly, let's do the same thing for name also. And instead of email, let me change it to name. All right, guys. So we have handled two things now. Let me also comment out this whole code for now, so that it should remove all the errors. Alright guys, so right now updating this and doing this is calling my state method, and React is aware that what is the value of email and what is the value of name at this moment. Alright, now let's go to our submit handler method. In the submit handler method, you were seeing that the first parameter is set is loading true, right? So now for handling this, what I'm going to do is I have to first define this is loading handler case as is loading return state, and then is loading to true. Okay, so Here also I am maintaining the immutability. This is the most important thing. And then I am saying that apart from this state, I just want to update this is loading to true. So once is loading to true is there, it will true this value and it will show the loader, right? So now in order to handle it, what I will now actually do is I will just call dispatch with type as is loading. All right. So now what it will do is it will go to this, it will check action dot type and then is loading, it will make it to true. That is what it is doing at this moment. So if I click on register user, you can see that it is showing loading true because right now submit handler is doing nothing, but it is just setting the is loading to true. So is loading to true. That is why we are seeing the loading. All right, guys. Now let's move to our application where I am using try catch. Okay. So let me uncomment this code and let me comment out these things. Then I will show you what is the alternative. All right. So now is loading is was visible. So here I am not going to change anything in my try catch. Sorry, in my await. You can see that this is going to be the same logic because it is not actually manipulating anything related to state. But here you can see that once this is done, once it is success, it has to set the loading to false, error to false, sign up to true, and clear the form, right? So for here, I will just do all these things with the single value, that is dispatch type as sign up success. All right. So now what I need to do is I need to define. Let me copy paste the same thing and then copy sign up success. Okay. And in sign up success, what I'm going to do is I have to make is loading as false, right? And then I will call is signed up as true. Apart from that, I need to change email as blank and name as blank. Alright guys, so you can see that I am copying the state and then I am changing the values which I want to do. So this whole logic of setting multiple states can be removed and is replaced by a single value, that is dispatch. Okay, now let's handle the error handler. For error handler, let me copy the same code like this one and let me paste it over there. And in error handler, what I have to do is I have to first change is loader as false. Now loading is done, right? And then I will call error to true. So now there is a error. All right. So it is saying that you have used the same name. So let me change it to error. So in my catch block, you can see that earlier I was using three values: is loading, is signed up, and set error, right? Is loading, is signed up also needs to be false, is signed up as false. All right. So now what I will do is I will directly pass dispatch as type error. All right, guys, and now I can remove these values. All right, guys. So I think our application is replicated and now it is using use reducer. Let us now test this application. Now let me click on register user. You can see that it is showing loading and obviously there is no value and it is going to reject case, and with reject it is going to catch block, and in catch block it is setting the error. Once there is error, it is returning that is loading to false, loader is removed, is signed up is also false, and error is true. So once the error is true, it will show something went wrong. Right now, guys, I am showing the error messages directly from the JSX. It is a recommended practice to always use constants for your error messages. Apart from that, right now I am using this inside the JSX itself. You can also take this logic out of this return statement and use a variable over there. Okay. Now let me refresh and let me add any value and now click on register user. Here it is showing loading and it called the resolve method because this condition is satisfied. In resolve, it hit the dispatch method with sign up success. At sign up success, what we are doing is we are removing the loader. We are setting the user to true, due to which we are seeing this error, this success message, and we are clearing our form as well. Right? So this is the complete example that we have replicated using the use reducer hook. So guys, now what is the key takeaways from here? So now the first key takeaway is that we have removed those use state, the complex different use states with single use reducer, and I have defined all these states in a single object, right? Of course, you can use the object in use state also, but as a separation of concern and single responsibility principle says, the best practice is we should use primitive values for states, right? It is just a practice. It is not actually a rule, okay? Apart from that, you can see that earlier I was using complex, I was manipulating the states in dispatch. Oh, sorry, at this place, right? I was updating multiple states. Similarly, for error also, I was handling multiple things, right? And now all that logic of handling that state is in my sign up success and error, right? Let me also change the default from alert to this because if there is error, it should do this. All right. So you can see that in my component, all the state related things are handled in my reducer method, right? Similarly, earlier there was onChange handler, and now we have removed that code base of onChange handler and we have put that logic inside my reducer itself. You can see that here we have email and name for handling these change states. You can even use a single value here. There is a trick where I can use the form name, field name, and then you can do that. But for now, let's not go into that direction because my intent for showing this demo is to actually understand the key differences of use state and use reducer. Alright guys, I hope that you have got the basic understanding. You must have got the clear idea of what is use state and what is use reducer, how to decide between these two, how it is actually, you know, clearing the complexity, removing the complexity of handling the complex state by using this use reducer hook. At the end, React is providing us the flexibility to handle everything based on our requirement. As I also mentioned that useState is actually internally using the use reducer hook. So I hope that you have liked this series of working with use reducer hook. Right now I have only gave you the example of register user. I think it's better if I would have given you the example with login user where I can have his login and all that. But I hope that you have got the basic idea. And if you have any queries, if you have any suggestions, do let me know in the comment section and I will try to answer your queries over those comments. All right, guys, thank you. That's all from my side. Goodbye.